Apple introduced a revamped Magic Keyboard with the latest iPad Pro. But which devices does it support? And what did Apple really change? Let's find out. So I've got both models here. The white is the last generation 12.9 inch, and the black is the new 13 inch. The new Magic Keyboard is the first ever upgrade to Apple's Pro-level iPad peripheral. It's not merely a Surface-level update either. Apple fixed some of the biggest complaints coming from its users. The outside still has the same soft touch material as before, like it or not. Personally, I find both the black and the white tend to look pretty dirty pretty easily. The white can collect dirt while the darker one shows fingerprints and oils. That said, they both can be cleaned very simply by just wiping them down with a damp paper towel from time to time. The inside, though, has been upgraded. Apple moved to an aluminum palm rest, making it appear more like a MacBook. The aluminum feels more comfortable, though it does make it kind of harder to open. The metal on metal is kind of hard to wrestle open, and I have to peel it away using the softer edges. You see the aluminum on the hinge too, which has been anodized to match the color of this black version. Apple moved from space gray to space black this year, which, by the way, do you like this new space black color? What color would you like to see? Let me know down below in the comments. Anyway, the old hinge was metal, but it was a round tube. Since it's thinner now, it's been squashed into more of an oval, just larger than the USB-C port included on it. The hinge is also exposed, meaning you have to be careful at what you set your iPad up against. I am perpetually worrying I'm going to scratch something due to that unsheathed surface. While adding metal to the palm rest, Apple also managed to reduce the weight. It's down significantly from the weight of the last generation. The iPad itself did shed some poundage, but as a combined package, it's way lighter. I can carry this around all the time, and it's super noticeable. So weight is one of the problems that Apple solved here, but what are the others? The next is the Trackpad. It's now substantially larger. Apple pulled this off by moving the keyboard itself backward on the body. Using multi-touch gestures is absolutely easier than before. It's not as expansive as on a Mac, but it's better. The final way Apple improved this is by adding the much requested row of function keys. No longer do you need to invoke Control Center just to adjust the brightness or pause your music. You'll find the same keys as on a Mac keyboard, including a dedicated escape key, brightness controls, playback buttons, and volume adjustments. Everything isn't sunshine and rainbows though. There are a few downsides so far that I've encountered with the new model. To start, it's definitely harder to open. As I mentioned, the old one had a nice lip due to those curved edges of the keyboard, but the new metal palm rest sits flush with the iPad. It's hard to pry open sometimes. Bigger still, the iPad isn't as sturdy as it was before when you go and tap the screen. As I showed before, Apple removed the material covering the hinge. That, combined with the iPad sitting further back, makes it really easy for the iPad to bounce. Even gentle taps toward the top of the display cause it to rock. And if you should ever get a bit too excited and aggressively tap, the front can lift up as it rolls back onto the hinge. Regardless of whether you think the new iPad Pro Magic Keyboard is a step up or a step back, you don't have much of a choice. The new Magic Keyboard exclusively works with the new iPad Pros, both 11 and 13-inch versions. The last generation keyboard only works with the previous gen devices. The iPad Pro you have, old or new, is going to dictate which keyboard you get to use. So what do you think of the new Magic Keyboard? Are there any other changes that you'd like to see? Let me know down below in the comments, and be sure you're subscribed with notifications turned on so you don't miss my latest videos.